the resolution, and they will be, yes.
And insurance liability for the road on private property. Easements, usually it's the landowners that are responsible for that. Is it any different when it's a right of way for a village?
It's an easement, and it would be covered as an easement.
So there would be property owners would be responsible for liability insurance for the road.
The primary liability would be the road, would be the village. But I really don't want to talk about liability. I'd rather not talk about liability, but the primary, it's set up so that the primary liability would be the village because it's a village roadway. So it would be covered under the village insurance policy.
So it's different than easement.
No, it is an easement. It is an easement.
Okay, maybe you can give me the section where I can read that.
Okay.
Yes, Anne Kaplan for Maybeck. I also want to thank the board. This has been a very, very long and uncomfortable process. We've had to, listen and be here many, many hours, but I'm very grateful for the way you voted and for your insistence and persistence. So thank you very much. Thank you for your time to be able to live comfortably somewhat.
Lita Edelson, Birchwood. Just a question. I'm a little bit lost about who's going to pay for the improvement of Maybeck. Is it just the people who live there, or is it all of us? And if it's all of us, how do we do this?
We're all going to be paying for it. We have money that was given to us by Suffolk County Water Authority, which we'll be using. And then we have money that we'll be using from the budget that we would for any other road in the village to fix the road.
Will this push us over budget
No,
for?
it will not. Cindy?
Do we know the cost of this?
Yeah.
What is it?
I can email it to you tomorrow. We have the Public Works has it.
Well, everybody needs to know. That should go out then as an announcement, so we all need to know what we are taking on as a responsibility due to this decision.
You're not taking on any responsibility.
We
This
are
is part
taking-
of what's in the
we
budget
are
already
taking
that's
on the-
allowed.
but
Would
the
you ask
taxes-
me how much it's gonna cost to fix your road? Or would you just have your road fixed and say it's
This is
part of
an
the budget?
addition.
It's not an addition, okay, this is part of money that's in the budget that we'll be using to pay for it. We also got money from Suffolk County Water Authority.
Oh, I just want to know. Thank you. If you'll send that out.
Could you send it to everybody?
Sure.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Joan,
Joan Hubbard, I live on Van Belt Manor Road, which is also a private road, and we're patriotic enough to pay for our own road problems. Because we own our road, and we would never come and say, gee, we have a road problem. And anyway, I read the resolution. I'm sorry, I think I heard some crosstalk.
no, you didn't, go ahead.
Excuse me?
No, you didn't, go ahead, direct the board.
I
Direct
heard
to the board.
crosstalk. I'm just pointing out.
It's
Been corrected.
Oh, it's been correct. Oh, thank you. It's been correct. Okay. So I wrote down some notes when Joe was reading the resolution, and the resolution said that this resolution is a benefit to the people of Poquott, and it's for public benefit. So I'm thinking, yeah, 4 people benefited. But the public did not benefit, and the people of Poquott did not benefit, except 4 people. So if you really analyze what the resolution said, it's not, it's really, I don't know how he made that up, but it's pretty well stretching the issue. And also understand, I'm really disappointed in the trustees, other than John Pesek, for not investigating. Really, you don't know how, you didn't read the engineering reports that were done to know really, you don't really know what this project involves. You're always saying, well, what's the engineering report and how is the engineering report? You should have demanded to see the engineering report and analyzed it and had it at a work session discussed it. to, to say, yes, we can handle this. we can do this for a reasonable amount of money and knowing exactly what it's going to cost. Because I think it's gonna be a huge project, much bigger than you ever imagined.
Are you an engineer?
Yeah, I've been a village clerk, and I've paid the bills for a lot of road work, and I never saw in the villages I work for, they do little tiny bits of road every year, like for $80,000, not whatever. I mean, none of you know what this road's gonna
No,
cost.
we know exactly what it's gonna cost.
What is
Why is it a secret?
Oh,
Why is it a secret?
Right now.
Why is it a secret?
Why
It's
isn't
not a
it?
secret, I just
I
don't have it
mean,
in front of me right now.
It's a
We
big
discussed
thing.
it for months now, but thank you for your comments, thank you for your comments.
You've talked about it for months, it's been your prime thing, and you don't know how much it's gonna cost.
No, we do.
How much? Do any of you know?
An estimate,
28,000.
perhaps?
Estimate ballpark figure?
Ballpark figure?
It's gonna cost the village, what did we say?
Is it like
7,500?
50,000? Is it 70,000? Is it 20,000? Joe, do you know?
The road bid was $32,000
The whole
For
thing?
everything.
That's for paving.
for paving.
They're getting
But
11
not the
back from
drains.
Suffolk County
Okay.
Water.
11 off of Suffolk County Water, we have
Where's the
20
public
20 in chips.
That's just
Okay,
paving.
so you think the village is gonna spend 20 on this project?
Yes.
No, chips is.
We don't have
That's
That's,
the private.
okay,
Is that just the private?
Total.
$620,000.
so you think the cost to the village is 20,000?
It's not 20,000.
It's not 20,000. Not? You have no idea. And you voted on it.
I didn't vote on it. There's
No,
a couple different components of
you
this.
didn't vote on it. You voted on it, you have no idea what you're going to spend.
Thank you for your comments, we do know.
The road paving is $32,000.
Yes,
20,000 we will get from chips when we pave the road.
yes.
11,000 we're getting from
Maybe.
Suffolk County Water Authority
The rest
for the
coming
work
right.
they did on Maybeck already,
Yes,
which leaves us $1,000.
Drains.
so you think that's
The
the
drains are a
total
different
cost?
story.
Yeah, well, what's
Oh,
the, what's the estimate on that?
What about the
6,300.
drains?
So it's $7,300 to redo the.
For $7,300, we'll be doing it right.
Do you think that's true?
Yes, we do, we just told you.
Well, does anybody else here think that's true?
Well, you went up.
No.
It's not a, thank you for your comment, do you have any other comments? Okay, thank you.
I think it's gonna be more.
Something that Joan's comment made me think of is that, and we're starting to talk about the numbers, and I think that something that she said that I realized, I think has just been overlooked, is that it appears to me, from being in the work session, and being at the last trustee meeting, and being in this public, I mean, I haven't been to every single work session you guys have had, but I've read the minutes. I feel like tonight's the first time that you guys have laid ears or eyes on anything here. Like, for example, the resolution that the attorney was reading to you, the prepared statement that trustee Pesic had,
Well, we
the
didn't know
engineering
that.
reports that were referred to. I mean, I think Joan had a point when she said, geez, well, I don't know that it didn't happen, but I don't see evidence of it. So I think that's why a lot of people are, skeptical to call it.
It did happen,
As
we
I
had
see it at
videos
this
out
moment.
there.
But we don't see evidence of it, is what I'm saying, and that's where I think her point is getting lost in that she wanted to take the board to notice,
I would just like to say, this is everybody on the board, and certainly John, but Harry, all of us, we put in a lot of time. And while we have not, seen it worded, especially Joe's things that have to be put into the proper form and legalese, but we are well aware of all the issues that are involved in it. And I can tell you, we put in a lot of time. And it's a thankless task. Because
I've
no
been there, I
matter
know.
what you do, somebody has something to say about it. And really, in this case, number one, it's just the right thing to do. But number two, other people in this village say, if it cost me a nickel, I'm against it. And then we have all this vitriolic back and forth that they don't deserve. And it's offensive to me personally. We are going to be able to correct a substandard road that is within the village, that is used by village residents who have paid their full share of taxes, not a discount because they had all the privileges of living on a private road. That was all bullshit.
I know,
And it was all
right,
put
but it
out
sounds
there.
like, that's the
It's
answer
got
we
to
keep
do
getting
with
is
people-
the BS kind of stuff.
People are,
It's being put out wrong
it's
facts.
all about the money. And I say that at almost every meeting, it's all about the money. People have said to me, if it costs me a nickel, I'm against it. And they've used that for almost everything that we've tried to do to improve the village.
And they will
So at some
from
point,
here on in.
let me also say this, because I'm a student of a lot of these issues in government and management and whatever, and I can tell you that people confuse a representative form of government with a pure democracy. And this is not a pure democracy. We are elected to make some decisions based upon all the factors. And somebody is bound to get their nose out of joint. And we just have to say, all right, well, we just have to do what we think is the right thing. And we did that in this case. And somebody is going to say, well, you're on the tape, and you're no good, and you're this and that. And we just have to let it go over our head because this was the right thing to do. And it's really a very good deal to be able to get all this work done on that road, given all the different other monies that are coming in here. I'm done.
Jeff, I trust you. I trust you guys up there to make the right decisions for the village. I do. And I'm not gonna say I understand just about everything you guys say because every other word I'm kind of, I think sometimes there's a lack of communication. And I don't think it's done purposely. I just think sometimes time allowed, we kind of push through things, we kind of rush through things, and sometimes maybe things aren't communicated. That's all I got to say. But I don't think there's anything intentionally evil about this. I just think it's something, it's a matter of time and stuff. I'm done.
Can I just say one thing? If you ever heard the expression, if you say something so clearly that nobody can possibly misunderstand it, somebody will.
Yes.
Did you ever hear that?
Yes.
I can't tell you how many times I've spoken to people and explained what my
We've done
understanding
this,
of the issues
we've done
are
this together.
and what we found out this time and that time, whatever, and they still go, I'm against it.
I've
So, I don't know what else to
I've
say.
seen.
Joan Hubbard, I'm sorry, Jeff, there's a level of ignorance in what you've said. I'm very sorry.
Thank you for illustrating my point.
But she said it nicely.
It's not that, it's that, it's people, it's never about what people deserve. It's about the law. Because, if I asked you for something, you wouldn't say, oh, she's nice, she deserves it, or she's a horrible person, she doesn't deserve it. And Maybeck people are really nice, they deserve it. And they don't deserve it. It's not about what people deserve, and that's the word you use.
Are you an attorney? Here's the attorney. I specifically asked him about that point, Joan. And he
Deserve?
I
What they
specifically
deserve.
asked him about,
What they deserve.
no, about how are we with all the legal points?
No,
So if you're saying to us, and this is what you did, Joan, you accused us of doing something illegal.
I said,
And I'm sorry.
I said your comments were not correct.
Earlier
It's
you said
not
it was legal.
what anyone deserves. It's what the law is about.
There's gonna be plenty of things that are done in the village that people don't want and people do want. And this issue, the board voted to do it. So, yes, we got it, you don't like it, okay, but it's done.
I'm trying to show Jeff that it's not that he's trying to give people something they deserve. That's not the way you act as a trustee. You say, this is the law, so they have to have it. That's what you say. Or this is not the law, so we'll say no. You interpret the law when they ask for something. You don't say, oh, they deserve it.
So why don't you listen to the lawyer?
The lawyer said it.
Because he's having.
He said probably. Probably.
Yes, he did.
Cindy,
All right, so, one thing, the attorney that we're listening to did say, I think, or maybe, I don't think it will happen. Be that as it may, I was on the planning board years ago when the subdivision was done, with a, permission to build a house on Maybeck. And we all knew it was going to be a problem, and there is runoff from that is affecting drains. Is that going to be corrected?
I don't
You know,
know,
like they're-
why didn't you correct it when you were doing it?
We turned it down.
When did it happen, 10 years ago?
We turned it down. The planning board did. They went to ZBA, they went to Article 78, and it got pushed through. It does contribute to this problem, and is that going to be corrected?
I don't know. I'll have
Well,
to
maybe
look into
the
it.
board should look into whether something should be corrected and not make this a continuing problem, because the major part is not being looked at.
Hi, Rich Parrish. I want to just make a couple of statements. First off, it's been said that only 4 people benefited from the project, and I want to disagree with that. We've been down there on many days to witness ponds, pools of water. Okay, I can tell you firsthand there was a major vector problem associated with that puddle, which was part of our EAF determination. Okay, the mosquito larvae produced down there by that standing water body is off the charts. Okay, so it's not just the 4 people benefiting; it's the entire community benefiting. You also end up attracting water rats, okay, which I'm sure none of you really want in your backyards, okay? So the idea that standing water anywhere in the village is acceptable, okay, and it's something that is not benefiting everybody by getting rid of that problem is ridiculous. The also is ridiculous is the thought that we're going to need to dig until we find sand, and we may have to dig some lost cavern, and maybe we'll find jewels and gems on the way, okay? You don't dig until you find sand. That's sanitary systems. You have your information backward, okay? For stormwater dry wells, you dig them as deep as you need to dig them, and you hope that it's sufficient enough to deal with the water. As of right now, whatever you put in is going to increase the amount of water by 1,000,000%, because there's nothing there now. As far as spending money on things, I've been drain commissioner for 13 years. We've been pumping those drains for 13 years. You've been spending money on their road for 13 years through 2 separate administrations, and now this administration. Okay, so there's nothing changing. Okay, and I, for one, as a parent, okay, don't want my son, who might have a job delivering pizzas, because he did have a job delivering pizzas, driving down a road and hydroplaning in a pond that he's not expecting to hit in a civilized neighborhood, okay, where board members should not threaten other board members with legal action. Okay, all right, because that's what you basically did, all right? And I think it's nice that we have roads that people can drive on. Thank you.
I just have one simple question.
Address?
My address is 272 Village Green Drive, Port Jefferson Station, New York.
Thank you.
I believe I can.
Of course you
May I
can.
speak? It's a public meeting.
Of course you can, public hearing.
Public hearing.
But I'm a resident.
So my
and I've had
question-
my hand up, and she's
So
not.
my question is for John Pesek. As far as communication goes, I'm just wondering, was there a reason why you didn't present that evidence to the board prior to the meeting? All your findings?
No, because I've been
This is a
researching
work
it
session.
Up until the last moment.
It was
for
at
the
a work
last month,
session.
yes.
Okay, but that's not my question. My question is there a reason why you didn't present it to them? You just kind of sprung it
It's
on
the
them.
reason they didn't
Just-
read the engineering
just-
report.
For
Just
some
going-
reason, I did want the public to be aware
Oh,
of what's going on.
Absolutely, but I would think that, you
And
know,
it was important
on
for them to
behalf of
hear it.
communication, I would think that you would have shared it with your board first. That's all.
Well,
Thank you
Um,
for your comment.
Jeff, you made a statement, it's all about the money. Yeah, and it is all about the money. Back in August, when we were all here and we heard, you know, there was a proposal to have a bond passed because we didn't know whether we could pay for this, for the storm damage. Then I see phase 1 of the storm damage, phase 2 of the storm damage. Then today I'm hearing, and there seem to be among the board, some issues about this recent cutting of trees. And like, where is that money coming from? So there seems to me there's money that's being spent that we're not really sure, you know, that it's officially supposed to be spent for. There have been a lot of trees cut. It seemed to me after the phases were already completed, and there were all these trees questionable. So I think people do have a right to be concerned about where is our money going. So when people say, well, how much above and beyond what Suffolk County is gonna pay for Maybeck, it's like, I would think that that would be information that you would have for the public. And I think it's, you can blame John for not giving you the information ahead of time, but I think it's, I really think that these are major questions and fears that people have. They want to know that they're going to be able to pay their next tax bill. So I don't think you've all acted that responsibly.
Well, I just want you to know,
And I
I'm
did
probably the
ask,
only
let me
person
speak
on
a
the
bit,
board.
I
I'm
did
the only one on
ask
the board
to
who-
have this deferred for a month. We tabled this motion for a month to digest all this.
I will let you know, Susan, I think, and maybe I'm wrong and they can correct me, the only person who monitors the budget constantly, okay? And I did such a good job of it last year, we saved $16,000, okay? So I am the one looking at the budget. I know that we could afford to do Maybeck. If I didn't think we could afford it, that would have been one of my recommendations to the board.
But it's our responsibility as informed residents to want to ask these questions.
Absolutely.
And to find out, well, this last round of cutting of trees is like, where was that money come from? Was that budgeted ahead of time, or was there really a need for this? This is what I'm hearing. Just on another note, I just wish that when you're doing this packet to new residents, I think one of the informational things you should do is to say, what do you do when you formally want to have your road work done? Because I'm hearing all this money's going to Maybeck. I've been asking for a long time we have a stormwater problem on the corner of New and Maple. There's no berms. Water is gravel and soil and dirt is just going right into those storm drains. And when you slide when you try to get to that to make the curve. And I've asked the person in charge of the roads, and then again said this in a public meeting, and I thought that would qualify as contacting the board about that need. But when I ask about it, it's no, and it's we can't do it because of money. We can't do it because of money. We're talking about probably a $200 repair.
That's not the response you got from the email that you sent. The response you got to the email that you sent was, we're done doing the
right,
pothole
and it's
repairs for this
as
month,
though that
and
was
we will look at it for the spring.
Right, but
We
as
didn't
though
say
it wasn't.
we're not going to do it because of the money. We said we would look at it in the spring.
No, but I've heard that before when I've spoken to people. It's like, no, we can't do it because of the money, and suddenly money becomes available for something else. So,
Thank you. Said what I. Alicia?
Since we're talking about water, standing water, I'd like to address the standing water on Walnut Beach. It is horrific when it rains. We're repairing there. Walnut Beach area serves the greater good of all the residents. It's awful. And California Park, the thing, whatever you call that in the middle that was pulled out, absorbed the water. Now the water puddles up because the drain is put higher than the water.
We'll look at both of those. We did try to look at Walnut Beach last.
Well, if we're so concerned, it's so scary about the mosquitoes, I think we should look at it right away.
We will.
Good, thank you.
Maybe one last thing which got lost along the way, but we are contributing $2,000 for residents towards Maybeck also. So it wasn't really laid out, but
That's for the administrative process.
the village towards the road.
The administrative process.
And that also towards whatever.
Carol Pesic, President of the Poquott Civic Association. I just want to say that, and Harry will verify this, we have wanted to meet to try and get the differences ironed out because there are problems. We recognize that, and Harry has offered to have meetings that we have said we would attend, hasn't come to pass. I understand that. The primary function of a civic association is to be aware of what is going on in local government and bring issues to the community. The secondary function of a civic association is social events. We did not ever bring events as a civics to the community, or information to the community as the civics on our webpage or at our meetings where we gave misinformation, number one. Number two, we did have a discussion about Maybeck, and we repeatedly told the residents throughout our discussion, we are not trying to give you our opinion. We are just trying to tell you what the board is working on. And we welcome discussion to come to terms with the adversity in the village, because we don't think it's good for the village to have this disharmony either. And our board does not work actively against the Board of Trustees. But we do each have the right to be an individual and to speak as individuals rather than board members. And Harry, you know that we offered to meet. You
I presented it.
and we accepted it. You know that.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else?
I'd like to say something for myself, not for the Board of the Civics, which I am a member of. I would like in writing, Harry, one thing that was ever lied about. And I resent it. I really resent it. And it's not fair. It's really not fair. And
Maybeck residents get a tax break?
that's it.
They have a different property class. I specifically spoke about the vacant land.
Wrong information.
No, it was available for everybody to look at the table.
Any other comments? Okay, motion to adjourn.
One item.
Oh, Sam,
Two items. Normally we don't bring these before the board, so I'm gonna bring this in here, because you mentioned earlier. Poquott Civic Association was requesting use of Village Hall for a Christmas party on 12/12/15. I have approved it already as per you guys letting me, so I just want to advise you that that's okay. And I need everybody's signatures on both the vouchers and the minutes.